Okay guys, you're out there now, you're starting to do some PvP, and you're gonna die. You're gonna die a lot, but that's alright. You're new to the game, and it takes a lot of practice, so let me give you a few quick tips to get started. I'm just gonna spend a few minutes in this video to go over your very basic intro to PvP, how armor stats work, and how to deal with one of the most common types of 1v1 PvP you're going to experience out in the world roaming around, which is dealing with a dagger rat or somebody in really full light running around like crazy. So let's just talk about armor for a second. Okay, so I'm going to focus on here is this field here called damage multiplier. You can see right now it's at 0.94, so that means I'm doing 94% of my maximum damage output, and this is related to the type of armor I'm wearing. So I'm wearing 4 pieces of light and 2 medium, so that's a very high DPS setup. But you can see if I were to take off a piece of this medium here, that's going to go up by a few percentage there, so now I'm doing 96% damage. But if I put on some slightly heavier armor here, let's say put on another pair of spaulders, and now I'm going down to 93%. On this particular build, it is a sort of a high DPS build, so this number is not changing too much. But on a lot of builds, you know, if you're switching between full heavy and full light, this number's going to go down to, you know, 40% maybe with a bow on somebody wearing heavy armor. So you're going to be doing next to no damage with a bow while in heavy armor. But you should always have a bow on you. You're going to be using that for, you know, slowing down enemies trying to escape, suppression, or using it just to take out siege engines when you're in a big fight like that. So a group of 50 heavies using a bow can do a lot of damage over time. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is this parts of armor set field here. So this number should always be 4 or up. Anything lower than that, you can see here it's grayed out at 3. So I'm not getting any of this sort of group armor bonuses. So if I go ahead and change back into 4 pieces of light armor, you can see that's gone green here, and you can see that my armor stats have all gone up and improved. So now I'm getting the benefits of the light armor, so higher stamina, higher DPS really. So that's very important. That number should always be 4 or more, and so regardless of your build, regardless if you're a tank or a bruiser or an archer or whatever, it makes a really big difference. You're just robbing yourself of stats if that number is under 4. So first things first, let's talk about your first sort of PvP, 1v1. 1v1 in this game is not nearly as important as group fighting. That's a whole other topic, whole different tactics involved there. But you're going to run into 1v1 a lot, and one of the most common types of 1v1 is dagger rat. So what does a dagger rat look like? They're going to be an all light, maybe a piece of medium. They're going to have that dagger. They're going to have that light shield. They're going to have a good quality bow on them. They're going to be hurting you a lot with that piercing damage, especially if you are not in heavy armor. That piercing damage is going to hurt you a whole lot. Okay, so what does one of these 1v1 dagger rat encounters look like? So, like I said, they're going to have the ability to do a lot of damage with you with a bow, try and get some headshots on you. That's really going to hurt you a lot. And then when you or they close the gap, they're going to switch to a dagger. They're going to love to get a shield bash on you and get some backstabs on you. So you can see right there, 2 backstabs doing almost 300 damage each. and then that bleed damage as well. So they can be very dangerous if you let them get hits on you. Okay, so let's fight, guys. Couple of things very important for PvP is center block and kick. You're going to want to make sure both of those are key bound. Being able to center block reliably just with mouse movement is very difficult and not reliable at all. So you're going to want that bound to a key. The other one is kick, which is generally Q. But I went ahead and I've bound both center block and kick to my mouse, so mouse 4 and 5 on the side there. I find that really helpful. Good reasons for this are piercing weapons like a spear and a dagger. They do the most damage while they're stabbing, and that's when they get that bleed damage on you as well. So you really want to be prepared for those center attacks. And you want to be able to block them reliably. I mean, it's that simple. They're going to have that shield, so you're going to want to be able to kick them quickly. Okay, so that's a couple of big tips just for PvP in general. Now it's time to deal with this rat. Okay, they've maybe pegged you a couple of times with an arrow. You have a little less health. They're full health at this point, and they're closing the gap. Okay, so what do? You want to be with a two-handed sword. That sword is going to do a lot of damage to somebody in full light. You're going to have range on their dagger. And just an example here is an ancient longsword. Really good friend against a dagger rat. You can get these for free just by AFK digging in capital. They don't have much durability, but they're massive amounts of damage. You can see this one. It's only a +1. Its durability is almost done. It's at a third durability really, and it still does 164 damage per hit. So you're going to be doing a lot of damage. Even when you're in heavier armor, you're still going to be getting a pretty good hits on these guys with it. So good idea to have one of these on you. You know, you don't have to use it that often. You know, just have it in your hotbar. You see a dagger rat, boom, you switch to it. You're not going to use up a lot of durability on a few swings. Alright, so next thing, this gap is closing. You switch to that two-handed sword. You want to keep moving. You want to keep range on them. And you want to be expecting that first strike from them to be a stab. So you want to be ready on that block, center block, right? And then a lot of players, even seasoned players, will instinctively just go for that shield block straight after that first hit. So if you're lucky, get ready for that, you know. Center block, get ready with that follow-up kick. As soon as you see that shield go up, you got that bound kick, boom, alright? So you've stunned them, bam, quick hit. 258 damage on them, and that wasn't even fully charged hit. Another quick tidbit is that a left swing is very slightly faster than a right swing, so that's something to keep in mind. And really, you just want to keep moving with these guys. You want to be coming up to them and strafing like that. And what you can do is, you know, they might bring up that shield, switch to that kick, boom. So they're going to be, you feint that on that strafe, okay? And then kick, and then you hit them again, and it's pretty much all over if you're lucky. You really only need those 2 to 3 hits on them. But more likely what's going to happen is they're going to wise up that you know how to handle yourself, and then they're going to switch to a two-handed weapon, you know, a sword or a hammer if you're in heavy, and then everything's in your favor. You know, your stats, your armor is all going to be, you know, a positive on your side, and you've just negated all of theirs. They're in weak armor, they can only do piercing damage, you know, very well, and now they're not doing it to you. You know, they're hitting you with a slash or with a blunt, and hopefully you've gotten some of their health down already, and you just need 1 or 2 more hits on them. As long as you practice your two-handed blocking, you're going to be in good shape. So just a quick overall guide. Switch to that two-hander, get that strafe going, maybe a kick if that shield goes up. Strafe, sprint away, keep that distance up, sprint back, they're going to be chasing you. Another strafe on them, and boom, look at that, they're dead. Okay, so that was like 3 hits, 4 hits, because that health regen was going. And that is a very basic tactic to overcome some of the most common PvP you'll be facing in the game. Just 1v1. If you know how to handle yourself, they're going to see that. They're going to switch to that two-handed weapon, and then, with practice, you're going to be in a better position than them to win that fight. And then loot away. So I hope that's been helpful, guys, and good luck.